Figurinos. In this video, we are going to be working with this beautiful butterfly. It's part of the kit we're making. This particular project, the kit does not come with a wreath base because we are using a big one. You can always downsize it if you want to, but we are going to use a 24-inch grapevine in here. So really big. This is going to be our big showstopper. Excited about that. And here is our butterfly. So we're going to pull our colors from this. The only thing we're not going to do a whole lot with is the gold, because we want this to be kind of just have that rustic, elegant touch. So we're going to pull out the blues, a little bit of a purpley pink, and then the nice bright pink that's in there, okay? So our greenery, you're going to need 4 bushes of the fishtail because this is going to set our really great perimeter and give us that nice wildflower texture, which we're going for. This time we're also going to give the wildflower texture with a couple of bushes of twigs. So those really pull in the brown background. We're going to make that cohesive and pull that together, which looks really good in contrast to the touch of the elegance and the gold on our butterfly. Then we are going to bring in some beautifully beautiful pink hydrangeas. Beautiful. And this is a mini rose, which we're going to mix into. It has a little bit of a kind of a rustic, this is like a baby's breath that pulls in that creamy color. And then to hone in a little bit more of the wildflower, we're going to use a lavender, because there's just a touch of lavender on the tips of those parts of the butterfly and a pink wildflower. The ribbons that we're going to go into here, we're using the pink and the pretty blue teal. And those two are going to go in there to make a beautiful bow. First thing we're going to do is attach our butterfly. For our design, I'm going to put the butterfly kind of up here, kind of resting into the wreath slightly where there's not too much room between here. And in order to put her in, I'm just going to use some cable ties and go in down here where I can camouflage it easily. I'm kind of running it through the grapevine back through, where it doesn't really show in the back too much. Let me just hold this with 2 hands. Just bring her back up. All right, and let's get that tight in there. All right, and let's go back on the right side over here. And I'm going to put her in maybe about right there. Okay, so there's plenty of room for floor over here because I want that to really pop over. So the 2 of these should be adequate. We're able to attach them to the frame really tight. And then you just want to do that little test. Okay, she's good. She's not flopping. She's not going to hit the door underneath. Then I'm going to trim these off. And the first thing I'm going to do is cover those with some Spanish moss, so they're camouflaged. I got a little Spanish moss here. And let's do that now. A little bit of glue on that. And that way that'll just hide into the background. Okay, and just like that, our first layer in the background is ready. So now you're going to want to grab one of your twig bushes and 2 of your fishtail ferns, okay? And we're going to prep these both first. With the twig bushes, if you'll just untwist them, they're going to come out into 3 different stems. All right, and to prep these, what I do is I just take and tear these off. Now, this is actually really good wire. I like to save those for hangers on wreaths. So it may not be quite big enough for our wreath today. It might work fine, but I like to save those. They're good wires. Now, when you get done with these, you're going to line these up so they're about the same length, and I want you to trim all of those off. Okay, and you get a nice clean finish. That's what you need to be able to put that in the wreath. So you're going to prep 1 bush of these, which is basically 3 stems. We're going to use that in the background, okay? So we're going to prep 1 of those. And then we're going to prep 2 fishtail ferns to where we push them up just a little. We're still going to leave them long because this is a big piece. We need to extend the lines with this. So I'm going to cut these as long as they'll go so that they're pushed up a little, but they still have about a 2-inch stem. trimming that off. And now these are ready to go. So what we're going to do is start with our greenery. Now our bow is going to sit kind of right down here in this zone right here. So, but you know that's going to be your transition. So if I start away from me, I'm going to start with one high, one low. So I'm going to take one, and we're going to make these little clusters where one's high, one low, and I'm going to trim that. Over here to the right, now I'm going with the direction, and basically this is going to be kind of a C and an upward direction here. Okay, now I'm going to use triangle placement as I work my way down, so my next piece will come, it's basically zigzagging. My next piece will come in here and go out this way. Okay, and we're setting that whole background perimeter. So a tall and a short, trim them down. Once they're trimmed, then you're going to hold it like a pencil. Get a good amount of glue, and this one's going to go zigzag to the inside. Right here. That's fine. Have a little cavern in the wreath there. See how it's breaking the plane of the butterfly? I love that. I want to do that. We don't want anything to be flat. We want it to be really just tucked in there. Okay. Now we'll come to the outside. One high, one low. A tall and a short. Let's go on that outside. Still following the same direction. And I'm kind of putting these in kind of the midline, a little bit outside of it, just a little bit. When I'm talking the midline, that's this section of the wreath. So I'm not way outside, I'm not way inside. All right. Let's put one more. We're coming back to the inside. This is a tall and short here. There you go. I'm going to bend that one a little bit to get it to kind of C shape. And then we'll put one more on the outside over here. Remember, we're going to have more going on this right side than the left. There'll be less on the left. Okay, one tall, one short. Hold it like a pencil. I'm swirling it in my glue, and then we're zigzagging, so I'm still coming down here. This is a more of an open cavern here, so I'm going to go down a little bit lower. There we go. I'm going to use more moss. Anytime I'm going into like a little bit more open place, use that moss to help grab the glue and make it a sandwich in there. Okay, great. This is just the start of the background greenery, just kind of setting the perimeter. Now let's come in the inside here on this side. We're leaving about a 5-inch bow zone, so we're going to change direction. I'm going to start up here on this side first, and I really don't plan to have florals behind here. We're going to let the brown show. We might put some twigs back there, but I'm going to go a long and a short. The short goes to the outside, okay? And let me just stand a little bit more in front for just a second here. I'm going to go to the outside. Perfect. Hit that with my Spanish moss. So the next one can kind of come to the inside. Gotta make it a little bit shorter. We want to kind of mirror this piece here. So give it a bend. Give it a bend, and that can just maybe tuck in right there. And remember, you're going to be standing in front of your piece. I'm off to the side so you can see what I'm doing. But don't make it hard. You don't need to do that. You stand right in front and look at what you're building while you're doing it. I've got a cool twig there. It's not really going the way I want it to go, but I'm going to bend it and take it out. So those kind of match up here. Beautiful. Let's have one more piece going down. I'm going to break into another bush of my fishtail. Push these up a little bit, but still cut them long. And I'm going to go right between these to kind of finish up my zigzagging. Basically, zigzagging is triangle placement. Whichever way you're thinking that helps you wrap your mind around it is fine. Go right in here. That smaller piece needs to go to the outside, if possible. And remember, we're going into the grapevine. We're not shooting through the back. Just using some Spanish moss to secure it in. Okay, and let's just put a couple of pieces in the bow zone that are individual. Just to kind of get that area shored up a little bit. So I'm going to put one in here. And I'm just wiggling it through the grapevine, lots of glue. And then how about one just kind of coming up right here. That's fine as well. So it's a bigger surface, more perimeter to set, to put in. But I think we've done a great job. Okay, these are our background twigs that we already prepped. So these we want to lay kind of flat in the background. They're not going to come forward. They're just going to be all setting the background perimeter. So I'm going to take one and we're just going to put one basically right behind where we put greenery. And these have like a little C shape. So we want to make sure we're using the C shape kind of coming forward. And I'm not really going over the butterfly at this point. I'm going in the background. Go right behind the greeneries, and then you really won't have to use much more Spanish moss, and it should be kind of tight in that area because you got some other stems. There goes two of those. So on here, remember the transition is at the bow, which is going to be right in here. So we're just putting each of these right behind the greenery. Let's tuck it right behind where we went in before. Right, and let's have this one move upward. They are wired kind of at the base, so you can wiggle them all around. So all these C's are facing in. Facing in. We'll try to stay consistent with that. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other side. Other side means they're all going to face this way. So instead of being this way, they're all going to go this way now. Okay, I'm going to start at the top. And we're going behind those greeneries, not in front right now. We'll be having some in front when we get to that point, but right now we're working behind. Why don't you let me in that little crack right there? Because I know you're going to stay good there if you do. There you go. Okay, there's one. Let's go behind these. Even that outside one, so still has to kind of come in. The twig comes in, goes behind there, just goes right between those others, cups in. Now right here. That way we've got lots of this in the back and a background layer. And then we'll have it also in the front when we do the front. And this is part of achieving that wildflower effect. And this time not with greenery or with floral, but actually with the twig. Going. And we've got this one down here, and here is where we're kind of at a transition. So I can have this one kind of scoop back that way. That's fine. I already put one there going the other way. Let's put this one here going this way. And wiggle it all around. That's great. So we got a good good background twigs rocking. Let's put a couple more at the top that kind of go right behind their wings and just scoop around, okay? They're very tip parts. Okay. That's fine right there. A little glue string, and this one right here will come that way. So it's almost like we added a different layer of texture to the background, which I think is a lot of fun. Okay, and this one this way. And they have those wires, so we can kick them back or forward, whatever we want to do. Okay, that did take the whole bush, so the twigs are in. Yay! All right, the flowers are next. Pink hydrangeas, we're going to be using those. We'll be using 2 over there and 1 over here. Remember, we have more florals on the right than the left. And with these, I don't keep the leaves, just going to pull off the leaves, and you can save those for any type of coverage you need to do on another piece. And then I'm going to cut these down to 6-inch stems on here. And then you've got them each about this long. We don't need them much longer for what we're doing, okay? So I'm going to take my first piece, and it's going to go right in the middle of this zone right here. I'm going to be gluing these in on the first go, but you can always push stuff in and come back to glue it. But if I were you, I would take it 1 layer at a time. I wouldn't put the whole wreath together. Then you have a lot to redo. Okay, I'm going to put that in. I did bend the head forward just a little. And now I'm coming in to cover my glue with the moss. So it is kicking forward a slight bit, okay? So we got a good dimension. Now my second one is going to come in, and let's have it move out a little bit, just a little. Let's see, let's take this one. And we'll kick it out to the right a little. So these stems are about 6 inches long, so you got to come, if you want the head to be here, you got to put it below that, right? So I'm a little lower than that, pushing it in. You want to feel it go into that vine. And then I'm going to take and put my Spanish moss on it and set that one right in there. Yeah, pretty. This one up. Okay, and then my third one is going to go on the right. So we'll have a triangle, but it will work across the design. Okay, so let's put this one down here. And remember, we've got a little bit of a stem because we want to have that dimension. So I'm going to push it down a little bit deeper than it needs to be so I can bend and move it. And we can have some movement to it. Okay, let me cover up all this. These are so pretty because they have a little bit of the green and the pink. Whoa, that's so pretty. Okay, those are in. 2 on that side, 1 on this side. All right, we got that part. All right, we're going to be ready for fillers next. So we're going to grab our pink fillers first. And these we're using the mini rose bush. And what we're going to do with these, they come in clusters of 3 like this, and they're about this long. So what you're going to want to do is just trim off the last little piece on there. I thought I saved one not trimmed, but it looks like I trimmed them all, guys. Oh, here's one. It's like I got ahead of myself. I've just taken off that bottom section. It's got a little indentation there, so it's really easy to cut. We're going to do that, and we'll end up with 6 pieces. So in general, we'll probably use a couple pieces here, 1 at the bow, and then the other 3 working its way up. I know that we're going to need some fishtail in between the greenery we already have. So what we're going to do is take our fishtail now, and I'm going to push it up, make it just a little bit shorter, and trim that. And let's lay that kind of in the background, and then we'll put our filler in. So we keep that wispiness. So in between where we had the other fishtail earlier, we're going to come and put this in individually. So I'm going to come in between these 2 and put a piece in. And if you need the Spanish moss, put the Spanish moss if it's sitting good and you feel like, oh, that went in nicely. Now you have other things to put it in with. Little sections. I went in between those. Let's go down our way. And make sure you're kind of staying in the midline here when you put it in. See how that comes out pretty now? Let's do it right here. Same thing. I'm going right between my other greeneries. Yeah. And now to the outside. And that's going to give us a little bit more going on behind our filler that we're about to put in. Especially up here in this area. Beautiful. Okay, and then let's put one maybe right here, kind of working its way behind that bloom here. Okay, so we just filled it in a little bit. We have 4 pieces of fishtail left, which is going to go around the bow. I'm going to keep that down there. Now, let's get our filler that we already did prep. We trimmed every one down, and they come in clusters of 3. I still left them kind of long because we've got to get out behind things. So my first piece is going in on this side, and I'm going to have it sit kind of right here. Go back. I got to go down a little bit more. There you go. Okay, I'm going to use my Spanish moss in there. Fill that in. Fantastic. Okay, let me step back for a second. Now my next piece, I'm going to work it more to the inside right here. Or to the outside. I think I like it to the outside. Let's go to the outside. We're kind of getting close to our bow zone, so we're not really going too hard in there, but we're in that general area. These have a good wire, so you can kick them up, down, or up, whatever you want. Okay, bow zone, so let's transition the other way. Let's take this one and have it go up. So I'm shaping it where the large roses, the longer roses in the back, and the shorter roses in the front. Try to get it into the wreath, guys. That wanted to come like forward. No. I had to boss it around. So I'm going to put this one over here, and that leaves us 2 more working our way up, okay? Let's go. Cannot wait to get our bow in. I think we're going to make that next, because then we'll have like a starting point to put all the greenery and stuff around the bow. Okay, let's work our way up. I'm going to put the next one here, kind of zigzagging, and we're shaping that up. The big bloom in the back, longer bloom, the short ones in front. I am giving that bottom stem a little kick forward. That just went between those. Great. Now let's go up here. So we're introducing a larger bloom in with our wildflowers to kind of add some interest. And we have this big butterfly in the back, which is really drawing your eye into the design. Okay, bring that forward. Looks good. I can see a little glue there. Let me get my Spanish moss in. Y'all, so pretty. Camoed. Ooh, it's looking so full. Let me show you close up. Look how pretty. See it? You feel it? Yeah. It's looking really good. It's giving us that really nice, elegant look. I'm loving it. So I'm going to start with this is our pretty teal. It has a reversible navy blue on there, so it's got a nice dramatic ribbon. And then this one is a Dupani. It has that silky finish, that neat finish, and we'll have that on top of it. So I'm going to start with this in the background. And I would like about a 16-inch tail to start here. I'm just going to cut that at an angle. And we'll measure that out on our bow maker. I'll bring that to the center and I'm going to twist, okay? And I'm going to keep the green forward and the blue on the back. So I'm thinking about that as I'm making my loops. I'm going to go all the way out to 7, nice and loopy, and twist. Keep that loopy out here, 7 on this side. Perfect. Twist. We're going to have 2 loops in the back. This ribbon is really nice. It's going to sit up really pretty. In our design, we'll go 7 on the right here. Okay, I'm going to scrunch that. And I'm going to have this tail be a little bit longer at about 20 so they're not symmetrical. Okay. So one's just a little bit longer than the other. Really spread those out nice. Now I'm going to bring the pink on top. And we're going to have matching tails. First one will be the shorter tail. Put a twist. Put 2 fingers in the middle to hold that. And now I'm going out at 7, same length. We're not going to taper in. Everybody's going to stay nice and long. Hold that in the center. Bring your next loop to the middle. Just back it up a little. Twist. We're going to do 3 loops now. Just lay one in the middle, and the other 2 will just lay right on top of these others. This gives us our pretty color combo. I'm going to measure on the last one, and then I'll spread it out. Scrunch that, and then bring these back to cut that. And now let's come back with the green glue in the middle. About the same length tail again, and I'll twist. And I'm going to cut that one at an angle cut. Now we're coming into the middle, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller at 6 for this center loop. Scrunch it down. And another really a little bit shorter tail to finish her off. And now I'm ready to bring this off the bow maker. I'm going to go right beside. Let's bring that up. Rotate that through your fingers, and let's start to fluff this out. Really shape up this nice loopy bow. I love this one because all the loops are the same length, basically, except for that center one. It's going to have lots of pretty movement. Okay, when I'm all done, I'm going to attach my cable tie to the back. That's how I'm going to put it on the wreath. Pull that tight. And let's just cut this off, and now we're ready to add our ribbon to the middle. Just lay that down. Okay, and I'm going to go with the pink in the middle. So we'll just cut a piece here. That's about 10 inches long. And that'll cover our mechanics, make it very polished down the middle. And you don't see any wire or cable tied on there. We are good to go. Okay, and this bow is ready to go in our wreath. I think you're gonna love it. Oh, look at it. So full of pizzazz and tails. It's a killer one. We're gonna put the bow in. I want you to play with this. You could put it where you match the angle. You could put it where you kind of go against the angle, or you could come back this way, kind of tuck this bow in right here. And I like that the best, where it's kind of tucked in and not facing forward. It's kind of sitting here, matching the direction of our butterfly. So I'm going to put this kind of like this, a little cattywampus. So I'm going to put it... Put the tails doing this, splitting that stuff. If you have to take some floral out, you take some floral out. It's okay. We tried to leave plenty of room in the bow zone, but you never know how much we need. But I like that sitting up here. So let's go in with that. Kind of, so it's sitting kind of at the top of the wreath. Don't let it sag down or go forward. Put it through the branches up here so it has to sit up. Okay. going to trim that off. I put it real tight because I want to control how it's leaning. I love this stuff, guys. Woof. Okay, let's curl a little. Let's play a little. Got some tails rocking here. We got some tails kicking out over here. But I like to bring these forward. And we're going to have floral in between the layers a little bit. So that's going to be fun. Now I'm going to take this out because it ends up not coming out of the center of the bow. So I'm going to see if I can get it out pretty easily or it's going to be a pain. Okay. Now, oh yeah, the glue's a little still warm. Perfect. Now, in order to kind of clean that and neaten that up a little bit, I'm going to come right out of the center of the bow, or I'll just keep it over here off to the side. And I think I'll just keep it over here off the side. And we'll use some of that filler flower at the bow. So let me curl this around. All right, let's tuck this in right under here and kind of come out this way. Yeah. So pretty. So pretty. Oh, I love that. Ooh, 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 ooh. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, bow's in. Now let's start adding some of those fillers in around the bow. And for us, that is going to be the pink filler flower and the fishtail. That's what we're putting in next. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to put this in right now. So I want you to take and push these up till you get nice little clusters of pinks. We're going to cut them long to get out from around the bow, but I want these to be their own little clusters and not too spread out. Fantastic. Now cut these all real long, like as long as they'll go, and we'll make these into clusters like we did the fishtail. And we're going to work this all around the bow, okay? So what you want to do is take one that has a flower and one that has the berry and go one tall, one short, cut them to match. And everyone will be different. Swirl that in the glue. We're going in tight to the bow. So let's take our first one and kind of go behind everybody back here. Watch your twigs. You don't get burned. And this is kind of a good spot because everything's really tight from the bow and stuff. So it's not going in. There we go. I'm going to bring that back now. And that'll just come out right here. I'll bend it pretty good and it'll pop out between these two. Perfect. Okay, now let's put some tight over here. So these are little surprises that are going to pop out between the layers of the ribbon. Now, mind your direction. If it's over here, it needs to go that way. If it's over here, it needs to go this way. We're pretty much doing that. The only thing I'm doing is bringing it a little bit back into the bow. Push that in. Yeah. And bend it. Ooh, I love it. Let's put one down below also. Maybe kind of coming out of the center. And we've got this whole entire bush to use down here. We don't have to have it other places in our design. If we want it down here, we can have it. Okay, spread apart your bow and let's go right in underneath. Yeah, right there. Perfect. And one more on the right side. So a berry one, a flower one. Stagger them. Trim them to the same length. Hold it like a pencil, twirl it in that glue pot. Come in from the right. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, that looks wispy in there. I'm going to try just a touch of fishtail in there too. Not a bunch, just a little bit. I'm going to make this short. We got to keep that stem a little long though, because we got to get behind the ribbon. Let's see if we can get two pieces of fishtail like opposite these others we already put in. Go in between a couple of layers. Make sure you're going into the grapevine, not through the back, okay? Try not to. Looks pretty good right there. That one might have gone through the back, so I'll have to, when we get towards the end, I will flip it around and double check. Now this one, I'm going to kind of have it just go straight up instead of curve it because it's kind of coming out of the top of the bow. So we're using our pink filler bush down here. We have a little bit left. And I'm using 2 pieces of fishtail just to add layering into the bow. Oh, pretty. Just pop those up. And that gives that all that dimension and tucks it in there. And I like it at that opposite angle where she's kind of crashing in and that pops it in. Okay, right now we're getting ready to put our lavender filler next. You got just a little bit left of these. So before we even get to the lavender filler, let's take a look and see where we might have a couple of holes. I see one right there between those two. So I'm going to make my own little cluster with 1 fishtail and 2 of the flowers from the floral bush. And I'm making a cluster of 3 and trimming it off. Fill that in right now before we put the lavender in. That way we don't have any big surprises. I'll go right here. Yeah, there we go. And then those roses are pretty there. How about let's put a little bit of filler right there. And then that just gives it a touch of filler in a couple of different locations. Here, I'm going to take this one, make a little cluster. We're going to come right here. We kind of did our bow detail work before the end this time, okay? A lot of times we do that at the end, but today we did it before that. Right in there, and then here's this little piece. Let's just take and have that tuck in there all by itself. Okay, y'all, we got all the pink filler in. I feel good about our holes. We've got them covered. We've got greenery everywhere. We got twigs in the background. I'm loving all that. Kind of bridge our gap from our teal to our pink. It pulls in this little touch of lavender that's on those. It's very subtle, and because it's super wispy, it looks really good at anything wildflower. So what you want to do is just tear apart this bush. It tears apart really into these pre-made clusters that are great. Easy peasy to work with. And you want to take all of these and then just trim them to where they're all the same length. I'm just going to give them about 2 inches past the part where they're clustered together. It's important you don't cut them too short or you'll lose the pre-made clusters. So we're going to do that to the whole bush. When you do that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 pieces. So we're going to start off over here. We're going to probably put 4 over here, 3 over there, and that leaves us 2 around the bow. Something like that. So let's kind of get started on the right side. Now, just take and shape them up before you put them in. It's important we don't just go willy-nilly with them, or your wildflowers are going to lose their pretty shape. So I'm going to start with my first piece, kind of going behind our pink roses, tucking in right there. Beautiful, okay? I'm going to come down a little. We're going to zigzag to the outside. So when we go to the outside, reverse it to where the shorter piece goes to the outside, right? And the longer piece kind of goes up. That way we don't get a piece shooting way out. And remember, I'm still putting these in the midline. I'm not going out into the outside of the grapevine. Okay? Perfect. Zigzag back in right here. This is piece number 3 over here. And I'm allocating 4 for this side, so we're doing good. This is going to go to the inside, so now put the little piece on the inside. So that way it can kind of come and break the plane of the butterfly. And I'm tucking these behind. They're not going in front. They're going behind the behind the fishtail. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is going to go back to the outside. Do that same situation. Now, this time, I just yanked that off. I'll have to glue that back on in just a second. This time, this one's going to go to the foreground, a little bit here, a little bit tighter. So I laid it on top of the greenery because I wanted it right behind that hydrangea. Now let's switch to this side. Remember, we're doing that C shape with everything we do. So this first face is going to go to the outside right here. came down a little bit with it because I want to do another piece kind of overlapping kind of the butterfly at the top there. So the inside part of the zigzag here up higher. And now I don't need as much Spanish moss. I'm going into places there's already other florals. It's tighter when you're pushing it in. See how that scoops around? So I went inside, outside. Let's come back to the inside. This piece, and this one kind of worked down there by the bow a little. Come down. Right there. And now let's come right outside right here. I love having this lavender part. Really ties that cottagey look together. Okay, now let's take a look at it. We've got one more, and I'm just going to go walk back from it, squint my eyes, and see where I don't see lavender. I'm just looking for lavender, and I think we just need a piece right here, and we can have it kind of scoop up. And I think we're good with that. I would work right beside these guys. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love this, y'all. Yo, that ain't going in there. Just bending my stem. I'm going to trim my stem just a little bit. Let's try again. I'm going to have to look. There we go, I think. The bow's in there too, and it's like fighting in. There we go. It felt good going in. You might as well get it right now, because otherwise you're going to have to fix it later if you don't. Looks so good. Looks so good, y'all. Oh, we are basically done before we even do this part. But now we're going to add the twigs to the foreground. All our other twigs are kind of chilling in the back, but these twigs are going to be loud and proud and in front. So we're going to use the same technique we did, but we're going to try to put these a little bit more forward in between where we put twigs before. So basically you get that zigzag look, but these are going to kind of come, they're still going to shape the same way, but they'll be layered in front. So there'll be greenery behind them. So my first piece, and I prepared the twigs the exact same way we did before. So I'm going to go between these two, just right in here. We're going to tuck that in. There's a wire in there so you can take and straighten that up a little bit and just have that kind of come in between, just a little bit forward. Okay. Now we're going to go in between these two on the inside. Kind of like an opposite zigzag of what we did before. Okay, I got my greenery on, my glue on it. And this one's gonna go in front. So I move some stuff out of the way, but make sure you don't put it behind. Perfect, now I'm achieving more of that wispiness. Okay, that's what we want in the wildflower designs. All right, now between these two, okay, go into the outside, but not like this. Keep these cupped in, okay? Everybody comes in to stay with that cohesive look. This going down here in the foreground. Oops, I got glue on that flower and it got me. Just on that little wildflower. How dare you, wildflower? It wasn't that bad, it just scared me. Okay, now let's come down and put one between these two kind of coming forward. And if twigs aren't your thing, don't do the twigs. No worries. This is just part of this look and how your work's going to always be standing out and being different. Not like everybody else's. That's our really main focus when we get down to it. Standing out from the crowd, being different. Let's go there. In between these two, we'll get that glue string off there. Same song, different verse. Coming in the foreground here, there's this twig here. So we're going to go between that and the next one. So I can just push that in right there. Perfect. All right, now let's work to the outside here. Still staying in the foreground. Whoops, watch your glue pot. Let's just set that whole puppy in there. Nice. All right, now let's go to the inside. A little bit tighter to the bow. That's just so cool to me, kind of coming over the bow. All right, we need some on the outside here too. We've got this one here. Let's work between them more forward. Push that in. Right now I'm fighting some glue strings here because I dipped it in the glue pot. Bend that down just a little bit. Okay, now that's in the background. All this is going there. We're doing pretty good. I think we're pretty good. I'm going to do one more behind the bow down here. I'm not going to put much more over the bow. Like, I'm not just going to use these to use them up. But I'm going to come behind the bow down here at the bottom, kind of in behind. There you go. Let that kind of work up between those. All right, this is scooping around. I have like a couple more. Let me step back and take a look. Oh, you guys, it's so beautiful. Just love that look. It's just so pretty. Let's go one more over here, maybe a little bit to the background. I'm even checking the background now, looking for holes, because when you see this from the street, you'll be able to see the perimeter of the greenery and the twigs, and I'm going to make sure it looks pretty even. I'll go a little bit to the outside there, and then I'm going to put one more here, kind of behind. Sorry to get so quiet. I'm just excited. You can always tuck these back in too. They don't all have to be open. Woo! It's stunning. It's like rock star status, guys. Oh, blue merinos. We're crushing it. I'm going one more under the bow. Right from the middle. You can't hide from me there, yeah. Okay, we did it. It looked so great. I hope you're excited about trying a showstopper like this one. It's big and beautiful, and it's really a long time since we've worked on a big 24-inch wreath, and it's stunning. It's gorgeous, and of course, I'm gonna find the perfect spot, the perfect home to sell that to for somebody who wants a really big and beautiful wildflower design. I love it. All right, Blue Merinos, you try it. Report back. Tell me if you enjoyed this design. Bye, Blue Merinos.
Blue Merinos, it's Kali. Are you ready to make a Valentine heart door wreath hanger with us? I am excited to play with all these fun flowers. You know, Valentine's Day is a time you can pull out gorgeous, rich florals, and then you can add in a bit of boho inspiration, because we've got the natural look of the wood, and then we've got the beautiful accent of the pampas in a gorgeous floral bush to coordinate. And then we're going to kind of blow your mind, because we're going to end up with a little bit of pearlized ribbon. This is a Japani. It has a nice finish, gives it a little sheen. When you get those three elements, the rustic, the natural, and a little bit of pearl, you've got the perfect setting for boho. So come on in, guys. It's Kali here with Kalis.com, where we teach you the love of floral design. Today we're going to make a boho-inspired Valentine door hanger. Y'all, if you want to know where we are at all times and how to get our latest content, we would love to have you in our class every week, or coming and join us on our live videos that we do out here on social media. So text us at 832-734-5201. Text us the word live. And if you don't want to wait for another live, you want to come and join Design School today and get access to the latest 24 classes we've taught, all you got to do is just text us the word KLI oh, what is it? No, it's Link, L-I-N-K, Link. So many keywords, y'all. Link. So text us and come on in. All right. For this project, we're going to have a supply list for you, but I'm going to use a bouquet, beautiful pampas grass, a little touch of lamb's ear. That's a beautiful granarita mix. I'll need a little Spanish moss to cover up my mechanics. Then our ribbon, of course, and just a little bit of floral foam. Okay, so that's what we're going to need for the whole thing. So I'm going to pull some of these aside. And what we're going to start on, guys, is we're going to start by making our bow. Now, when we melt the foam on, we're going to kind of put it just right here in the center. Because this has just a jute hanger, you have to kind of get the weight midstream of the heart, and we don't want to cover up all of the hearts. So you have to think about where you're going to put everything. So I know right here in the middle will work great, so I'm going to take my little bit of floral foam, pop it in the glue pot for just a second. I like to use Gorilla Glue. It's a clear Gorilla Glue. Pop a little of that behind it and just swirl a little on. I kind of use that as a backup plan. Hot gluing to wood generally works pretty well. But if your heart's metal or something else, I got to think about how's it going to stick, okay? So I'm going to scrape off a little of that glue, but I got a nice coating of glue. Pop it on, give it a wiggle. And then where that glue is hot around the edges, grab your Spanish moss. We have this on Clays.com. This is the chartreuse color. One of my favorites. You can use any color, really. We have light green and dark green, but I like this one too. Let's bring it around the edges and a little bit more around this other edge. And we are home free. So what that's done is that has hidden all the mechanics and gave a nice, soft, organic touch to the background, okay? While this is setting up, let's put it aside and grab our ribbon and our bow maker. I use an easy bow maker. If you need the affiliate link for that, just text us the word bow, B-O-W, or I think it might be bows, B-O-W-S, and we'll send you the affiliate link to this. Our text is 832-734-5201, or go to textkaloo.com. Now, our ribbon tails, what we're going to do is I want these tails to be a little bit long, kind of like about 20 inches. So I'm going to measure that out, bring it to the center, twist it, and then let's go at about 5.5. It doesn't need to be too big, guys. Kind of a medium-sized bow. And because we are just using this for that elegant, soft touch, kind of giving it the feminine look that we like from the boho type texture, we're just going to do 2 loops, beautiful long tails. Just cut those straight across. And now let's do 1 more loop to split that up nicely. This one, the tail could be about like 16, 14 inches. And then this one will be 5 inches right here in the middle. Twist, 5 inches here. Scrunch it. And then you've got, basically our recipe is 2 loops, 1 loops, okay? 2 loops, 1 loop. I use cable ties to take these off the bow maker, so that's what we're going to do. Slide a cable tie right underneath, put a finger on top, and just bring that up. Add a little pressure, and then rotate this around to the back. Now, before we go any further, you've got to make it all fluffed up and pretty right now, okay? So separate this all out into its sections. See how pretty that is? Flip it over, and you're going to add a floral pin to the back. So let me grab my floral pins, my little box of floral pins, and we'll just slide that in. And it's a metal U-pin that you use in order to put things into foam really easily. Okay, so that's in. Trim that piece off there. You guys, you will need wire cutters and scissors. That's just something, if you're going to play with flowers, you are going to need more often wire cutters and scissors. All right, now we have our cable tie kind of showing in the middle, and I want to cover that up. So generally, I'm going to use just a little bit of the same ribbon. Cut that, and we'll fold this. What? Stay on the table, dude. We will fold this into sections and just keep it nice and neat and go right through the center. Make a really pretty center. See how cute that is in the center? I love that. Now I'm going to take and get a knot going there and trim each of these pieces off. Okay? So we got a nice finished bow. So we'll be ready to add that when we get our florals in, okay? So that's probably the most time-consuming part. Now, bring your heart back. It's all set up and ready to go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pampas like I would a greenery almost. And I'm going to do something we teach in design school called set the perimeter. And we're going to do that right now with some of this. Now, less is more with pampas. It quickly can take over your design, and it goes from boho to flaming boho. I mean, like in your face. So just go a little slow, okay? So let's take this beautiful piece and let's use this kind of going off from the bottom down. I'm going to let it just lay out that way. Oh, that's so pretty and soft. Look at that. Okay, now I want to work opposite to that. So I'm going to come up here and work opposite as I come up. Just take another little small piece. And it's up to you how much of this you really want. But I like to set the perimeter with it. Okay. Place that. Oh my gosh. So now you've kind of created your lines. You're going to work from here in. All right. Yeah. And one piece of this is going to do you. I think it'll be nice and soft. But we've got that in the back. Now our next step is to take our bouquet. We chose a bouquet because all the work was done for us. A beautiful collection is already chosen on the bouquet. So take and start to cut that all the way down. We're going to get all these pieces cut off of there. And I will start to take and arrange them right here in the center. Oh, this is a little piece of eucalyptus. There's a really cute greenery we can fill in. I got a big white rose here. Gorgeous, and I even have a couple of big leaves. So when I'm cutting these off, I'm making sure I'm leaving some of that stem. You need that in order to place it in to your design. You can't just be like, nope, don't need the stems. You got to keep the stems on, okay? Because that's what gives it some strength. So we've broken that whole thing up. And when you want to do that, I'd identify, you know, what are my larger pieces, what are my smaller pieces. And I know I would like to take a couple of these leaves and just kind of build out my perimeter. Also, I'm going to just take and kind of have them tuck in here behind the pampas. And just kind of be a layer behind, nice and soft. And you notice you'll see me hold that foam just in case it's not totally set up. Add some pressure to that foam while you are putting each piece in. Okay, and I'm going to come behind here and we're going to pop that one in. Okay, so I've got a little leaf behind each of those. And now I'm ready to get to my pretty flower part. So let's start with our two really pretty roses. One's white, one's cream. And take and cut those down a little shorter. And let's use I'm going to have the burgundy one kind of go up. We'll let it come up here. And then let's go opposite with the white one. Let it go down. We're just going to let these fill in this area nice and full and beautiful. Now we want to leave a little bow zone. We've got a beautiful bow coming in here in a little bit. So in order to help you remember how large the bow is, just bring it back. Think, okay, I've got space still. I've got space. Don't panic. Cut this down a little shorter also. Let's bring that in here. We want to start using these to fill up. Oh, look how pretty that mauve-y pink is. Oh my God, so pretty. Now you have all these little pieces of the filler flower that came in the bouquet. It's like a little cute, I don't even know what it is, but it's just really cute, like a little berry blooming. Let's utilize that. Now, because I have this burgundy up here, I want to bring the other burgundy to the lower part of the design. So we'll take and cut this, and I will add that a little bit lower down here. Have it kind of come up by the rose. That's really pretty. And this little touch of cream. We definitely can do the same thing. We'll have it work above right here. So I got a beautiful bloom. We know we're going to have our flower in there. We have our little filler flowers. We're going to put those off to the side. I'm going to grab my last piece of the hydrangea, cut that down short, bring it in right here. So the bow is going to just pop right between the pieces of hydrangea. I've got a little bit of eucalyptus and the filler flower. We put those aside. We're going to use those in a minute when we fill in around all of our gorgeous florals we've got going. Now let's take and break a little more pampas down, and if you want these to have a little longer stems, depending on how much room you need, just pull. And generally, you gotta muscle this one. you can just get maybe an inch or two or more long. And that'll help you get a strong stem when you're ready to trim those off. Okay, dudes. Now, I am going to allow the pampas to get just a little bit wider as I work my way up. You guys, the principles you're seeing here today are things I teach in design school. And the whole point of you getting better at designing and placement is so not only can you have beautiful pieces for your house, but you can learn to sell your pieces with us and take your business to the next level. When your work is just that much more pretty, you can't help but get more for it. And you might see me joke around saying, you know, don't shove your florals in, but I'm not really joking. The more time you take on placement, the more people can tell on your work. And guess what? They're willing to pay more because it looks more professional and it sets them apart from their neighbors. Everybody wants beautiful pieces for their home. And if you can make them for them, that is, I mean, that's my dream for you. So you see, I added a little bit more. I got a little bit wider. We're going to take this one piece and I'm going to let it kind of come out from where the bow is going to be in a second. So this is what's called breaking the plane. This dude's going to break the plane of these other florals and just kind of disrupt the whole neatness of it. We're going to make it a little bit exciting. Now it's time for that lamb's ear we were talking about earlier. And I love this one because it's a great filler. This bush can be pushed up and rotated around to go in here and fill in on this design. So you can see when I'm pushing these, I'm rotating the leaves to make nice, cute clusters. These make the cutest. Oh, this isn't lamb's, it's Dusty Miller, but it's still that pretty touch. Like, Clee, know your flowers, woman. I'm going to trim these all off to a couple inch stems, you guys. And we're going to put that in next. Let's tuck these in. Now, I love teaching my design school students all about the floral design. And I'm so glad you're here being a Bloomerino, watching and learning right along with us. Whether you want to take your business to the next level or you're just starting out and maybe you're just catching the bug of silk flower designing, hey, we're here for you. And if you haven't gotten on that text list yet, grab a spot, 832-734-5201 or textcali.com. Once you're on the list, we'll send you all kinds of information, including when our class is open next. You can grab a spot. Okay, you can see I'm putting a few pieces up top and up bottom, and see how pretty that is filling in. And this is just slightly off center, just slightly off center. So when this hangs on a door, see how gorgeous it's going to be. Bow time! Grab that gorgeous bow you made. We're going to put that right in the middle and straddle it right along the center. Whoa, we're going to need a little dowel rod. Here's my little dowel rod. I like to use a little dowel rod, a little piece of bamboo, chopstick, or anything like that in my glue pot to help me take glue to things like that. It's a lot safer than putting in a glue gun and pumping in glue and burning yourself. The glue pot is easy peasy to work with. Okay, the bow's placed in, it's glued in. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take just a second to work with your tails. I like to kind of weave my tails in instead of having them just all in the front. I like to be the boss of them. Boss these girls around. These little bow ribbon tail girls need some, these girls need a boss. So we're going to let those flow down. We'll let the shorter tails kind of come up, curl around. The little divas that they are. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. It's so pretty, but we're not done yet. The little filler flowers are going to work to your advantage up here. These little guys, we're going to use these around the bow. So cut them till they have a nice little stem you can work with. And we're going to tuck some of these right in between the ribbons. So find the foam. Oh yeah, pop them in. Let them stand up and potty on their own. Potty in the pastel ribbon section. These are so cute. See how cute that is in there? Let's use another one up here. Just cutting these little guys. I'm just cutting them to make them a little shorter. We don't want them shooting out too far. We want them just breaking the planes of that ribbon. Oh, yes. Okay, and then I want a little bit more of the greenery, the Dusty Miller, that I've been calling lamb's ear on and off all video. Y'all know what I mean. Tuck it in here. Fill it in there. Let's go on the other side. Cut that piece off. Look how stinking cute this is. I am in love filling that in. I like the rich colors, the creams, the beautiful touch of the elegance. And then, you know, when we call it boho, that's because we've got this rustic heart behind here. This is gorgeous for Valentine, but you know, it also works great for weddings. You could do it with less of the colors if people just want neutrals. That's really trendy for weddings also. We've got left this little bit of eucalyptus, and use that to your advantage because this introduces a little bit of this gray green that's in the back. If you take a color from the back of a design and you move it to the front, that is always going to help you give you more of a cohesive look. You can see I'm doing that right here. Bloomerinos, you can make this. I know you can. You can grab the supply list right here. Text us at 832-734-5201 or go to textclee.com. Just send us the word supply. Supply brings you the latest supply lists, and it will bring you this one and any other projects we have done recently where you can grab the supplies right from us. Isn't it cute? I love her. Check the finished pictures out on the supply list. You can see how she turned out hanging on the door. And Bloomerinos, I'll see you next time. Have fun with flowers. And if you haven't, like, subscribed, and followed, and hit that bell icon. Come on, help a sister out. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. We're going to make a great wreath. It's going to be grand and dramatic, but very easy to make. And it only requires 4 supplies, and one of those is the wreath, okay? We're making this big and bold, so we're using an 18-inch wreath. And what you're going to need is 4 long sprays. So these are long, not 4, 3, sorry. 3 long dynamic sprays, okay? And these will be the bulk of our design. The cool thing is these are already made like this. This is one of these things that makes this go so easy for you. And we're playing in the bluey, purple, lavender color combinations here. Now, the other supply we're going to use, this will be our greenery, and we're using a lavender. So it's beautiful because it's going to have purple at the tips, but green at the bottoms. 2 bushes of that. And then, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I'm using twigs, and I'm loving the butterfly twigs because this is definitely a spring color combination. We're going to use 2 of these. So 3 of the hydrangea sprays, 2 of the beautiful lavender stems, and then 2 of these. So a total of 3 different floral type pieces in there with multiples of each. So we're going to start off by shaking hands with each one of these bushes. We have these gorgeous hydrangeas in green and purple. And we're going to get these placed in first. And basically we're going to do these like a triangle. We have 3. Cut these down to where they have about a 4-inch stem. Because they are long, we need to put them in the grapevine. I'm going to try to use glue, but when they're a longer stem like this, we may have to use wire or cable tie to cable it tied in. All right, so I've cut that down to about 4 inches. I'm going to come in, and we're going to start here and just go a little past 6 o'clock. I'm going to push that in. I'm not gluing it yet because we're going to get our spacing right. Okay, there's number 1 in. So if that's there, we're going to need another one like right in here. And this is going to be an all the way around design. And we'll put this one in right here. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. These 2 I like. This one I need to work on a little bit. It needs to come down just a little bit. Now grab them, hold the tip up, go into your glue, twirl it and swirl it. And we're going to go ahead and start to put these in. All right, let's do it. And if you don't think the glue is strong enough to work, it's going in good for me. Then you can always take and cable tie them in, or wire them. I'm coming in with my Spanish moss to cover up the glue because I used a lot of it. And then we're shaping this dude out. Pretty! All right, next one's going right here. I like that. We can maybe go just a little bit lower. And you can play with it, guys, first without glue, remember. All right, let's come in right here. Push that in nice. Oh, good. And this is wired, so I can have it kind of come around a little to create that flow. We're going around. These kind of wreaths are great to make because they come together quickly, but they're very dynamic and beautiful. And this one I want it to end up right about there, okay? So this one's a little lower, that's higher, and I get a nice triangle going, okay? So I'm gonna think about where I want that big hydrangea to end up at. All right. Come on in here, you pretty girl. Get in there. And I want to make sure I'm not pushing through the back. And I did go through the back a little, so I'm going to come back and angle it. There we go. Much better. You can feel if it kind of lets loose really quick when you're pushing with all that glue, then you know, uh-oh, that did not go right. That went through the back. And those are big dynamic stems, so we need them in there really good. I'm covering the mechanics of the glue with the Spanish moss. All right. Everybody's looking good. Super great placement. We are good to go. Now that that's done, we're going to come in with this greenery and go between all of that. We're going to start with 9 pieces of this bush. I'll cut it all, but we're going to cut it long because we're going to need some short too. All right, now we're going to put 3 in each section. So I'm going to come in with some glue, dip it, and each open section is going to get 3. So I'm going to start with 1 out here, and I want to push these in where they're kind of about the same perimeter as the greenery. We're going to start to make our shape. Now, if you can see the glue, you need to be coming back with moss. I'm putting a good amount of glue on there. 2. It's real important in this part because this is just going to be greenery in these sections, so you've got to cover this glue. 1, 2, 3 long pieces in there. Go into the vine, go into it. We're not going through the back, into it. So the same process in each section. So there's the first 3, and you can see we're starting to shape out the outside. We're going to do the outside down here. Let's do this. There's 1, 2. And I kind of weaved that one a little bit so I get it didn't pop through the back. And then number 3. So if you're not careful, you'll have a whole bunch of these small wires coming out the back. So take your time. There you go. Beautiful. So you can see we're starting to shape out our shape. And you should start to see when you step back, you should see a good shape coming. Yeah, it's looking good. We're working that perimeter right now. So we're going to come into the 3rd section right here. Do the same thing. And I'm not going right out to the edge. I'm kind of going in about 1 inch in on the wreath. If you want it larger, you can go out to the edge. It just will take more supplies, so I'm going to tuck it in a little bit. You have to be careful. If you go way out, that's how I ended up inadvertently creating a much bigger design, is I went way out on some piece I made. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's pretty too. So you might discover another beautiful way to do it. Okay, and 1 more right in there. So we laid out a gorgeous perimeter shape, and we created a nice structure. So what I want you to do is step back from it and take a look at it and make sure it has a good feel all the way around. That looks good. So I'm going to grab one of my other lavenders. This is the 2nd lavender bush, and I started to prep it already. But the first thing I'm going to do is push these up short. All right. So they are a little bit more clustered together. And then I just need about a 2 to 3 inch stem on these. Okay. It doesn't have to be real long. So I'm going to trim that whole bush that way, which I've already done. And then that gives me the whole bush of nice short clusters like this that are shorter. Okay. And we're going to start to put those in our design. Here's the pattern that I think works best. We're going to do 2. So the first one will come on the left here, and we're going to kind of go back, and I want it to kind of lay between these 2, okay, just like that. Try not to get glue everywhere like I just did a terrible glue string. I forgot to swirl it. didn't do my twirl and swirl. And then come and cover the mechanics. There's one. Now I'm going to do one over here. Separate it out to the right. One to the left, one to the right, kind of falling between those two right there. Oh, don't go to the back. Go into the grapevine. Right here is a little tricky. So if you feel like that, like it's just going to nowhere, what I want you to do is get more glue on there. Get some moss ready. Tuck it in. You know, we're going to use moss to kind of hold it. So I'm going to put moss in this crack to hold that whole dude in place. Now our third piece that we're going to use is going to come to the center. And you want it to be, you know, nice and chunky. It's going to come right here to the middle. Okay, trim that one short. And let's go in here. Beautiful. All right, I love it. Let's come down here now. Same process. We're going to lay the first one where it comes between these two and just go under that fern leaf. Okay, it needs to go back a little here. Right there. And then we'll put one more right here. Okay. Those are still working to the outside. And then the final piece works to the inside. I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter than we did. Maybe not quite that short. And I am working to the center. Pretty. Okay, so I'm filling in that area really nice. Bend on it. All right, same thing going on right here. We're going to take two pieces working to the outside in between our holes. So I'm working a little bit more. You know, when I'm putting these in, I've got to back in closer to the base. So I'm gluing and then I'm mossing. We're going to do one more. Okay, and let's put a little bit more moss on there. And now my final piece will go to the center. All right, so we've done really good with getting our placement nice and clean, really. So we filled in those open gaps, which is looking good. I can see on camera how good it's looking. We filled in these open gaps in between here. We're going to grab that lavender and we're going to have a touch behind and in front of each cluster. You should have 6 pieces left. Some are short, some are long, which is going to work great. We're going to start off by working with a long piece, one behind each cluster. And I would just do it where it kind of makes sense, like right by this fern. We don't want it to look like we missed a gap, but we want to look like one of these kind of was able to grow behind there. All right. Doesn't need to be too long. It's going to just come out from behind here where you have the fern. And we're going to push that one in. Perfect. So let's find the fern on that one and do the same thing. I'm using the longer pieces we had left from the first bush. Right here. And we'll push her in. She's going to come out behind there. And then we'll have one here behind this fern. So it's still saying the same size as the perimeter you already created. But adding that nice touch of purple. Love that. Okay, so we did a good job on the perimeter. We kind of supported behind each of these with a touch of lavender. Gonna do the same thing on the inside, coming inside right next to each of the big blooms. There's a little greenery here. I think it would look kind of good if it went on top of that little piece of greenery. So a little bit, I'm thinking we go a little bit behind each of the purple hydrangeas. So behind each with us. So you just decide what you want to do. I'm not going to push these really short, but it just gives you a little more touch of the purple in this zone where there wasn't previously. So I'm going to go behind each hydrangea. So right here, I'm going to tuck it behind, and it's going to lay on top of the greenery, which is going to kind of cohesively tie that in, which I love. So come under here, try to, got a whole bunch of glue here. Okay, and I'm going to cover that with moss because that could get moved up and I don't want anybody to see that. All right, and then one more right behind this one, so it would come into here. This one's a little crazy, so I'm going to shorten it. But I love how this is turning out, guys. This is beautiful. And then we have that touch of lavender kind of coming to the center, a little more full everywhere. Go ahead and take and break them down in a couple sections. So separate the bottom stem off here, okay, and bring those down, and we'll cut that right below this big knot. This looks like it's hard to cut, but it's not. Just nib it down. And the butterflies I want to go in the green sections, so they will lay up in the green section. So I'm just going to start by laying this in here. We're not going to try to mount it or anything, because we're only using 2 butterfly stems, so I want to make sure I can get good placement. This is a smaller one, so it's the half of that one left. So I'm going to just kind of wiggle it in over here. And I just didn't think we needed 3 stems of butterflies, because I didn't want the butterflies to be that dominant. So I wanted to figure out how to make it work with 2. So here is the other one. I'm going to do the same thing with it, where I trim it at that really chunky spot, and then we'll keep, let's see, how many we keep with her? 3, 1, 2, 3. So we'll keep this for our second one, okay? Same cut. And I have already shook hands with this, and I kind of curled some of them and had some fun. You do the same thing. Now, got to stay with the flow, so that comes up and under, and then we'll be kind of going back here. That looks really good, guys. This is like the little touch that's going to take it to the next level. So these butterflies are going out, so this second stem will kind of work a little more tight in right here. And I think it would work fine. All right, so we kind of have our placement started. Let's go ahead and start to glue these in. Put that in there. And we're going to tuck that back in. Yep. And once again, you can also, like, if you feel like that is too tight in there, you can take and tie it. You don't have to glue it. All right. Number 2 going in. Right here is the longer one. But here I have a lot of Spanish moss, and I already put the other greenery, so that'll help me kind of get it started in there. Yep, good job. It feels so good when it goes in there strong, right? Oh, beautiful. So those 2 are in. Let's go to the top. And these are, I'm going to squeeze on a little. These ought to be a little easier, because we just have 1 to go in there. So you're going to keep with the direction. And keep that flow going around. And then just tuck these in right there with the other beautiful flowers. Okay, gorgeous. And then finally this one over here. Kind of get you started going between the pieces of the grapevine, and then it'll slide in after. I wish we could put these in first. It'd be easier, but you're not going to want to work around them. They have to lay on top of the greenery, so they got to go in last. We got it. Okay, make sure these guys are coming up, and they're coming up to meet the guests at the door. We want to pull them forward, and they need to stay in the greenery sections. They can come out a little, but pretty much they're about to hit those hydrangeas and flowers, but they're not quite there yet. All right, guys, let me show you the depth on it. It's beautiful. Look how pretty. This is going to look really beautiful in person. And you could play around with it if you wanted to put like a big, like a nest in here. You could put a bow in this section if you wanted to do a bow. There's all kind of options, but I think it turned out stunning.
And it's just takes a little bit of time to put it together, but it's actually a very easy recipe. All right, Bloomerinos, y'all go have fun with flowers. Hi there, Bloomerinos, great to see you. We are making a kit from Calise.com, and it's our latest kit where we're going to take and make this beautiful swag right here and take it to the next level. And you're going to get all 3 pieces in the kit. You're going to get the swag topper, the swag base, and some fun berries. And that's what we're going to work on putting together so you can learn how to make this exactly as it's pictured. So if you're on our text list, we will be texting you out the link to the kit. But if not, go over and get on that. Go to textcalee.com. If you don't want to do that, just ask us in the comments and we'll be happy to get you a link so you can get this kit to make it your own. Okay, the supplies you're going to need at home is you are going to need some hot glue, and I'm going to be using the glue skillet. You're going to need some wire cutters to cut some wires, and you'll need a few cable ties or wires, which these are found in the electric department, and we're going to use these to put this puppy together. Okay, and those you'll need on your own, but all the floral supplies are coming in your kit. So the first thing you want to do when you grab this, guys, is take and separate these pieces out. I have pre-fluffed this a little bit, but they kind of get compact in shipping. So what you want to do is look how fun these are. Look at these little berries. I mean, I'm a fan of that. I love all the berries, and I love this little bit touches of pink and lavender and purple and green. It's just a beautiful color combo. Now we're going to make this for a door swag, but you can also take this with just a little bit of shifting and make this totally a table swag too. And I'm going to show you how to easily do that. So this is on a nice angel vine base. So it's got a sturdy back base. It's really easy to add things to with just a little glue. The next thing you're going to do is all of floral designs have a transition point generally, unless they're an all the way around piece. So that's going to be right in here. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a couple pieces of the greenery and kind of pull them up. As they were originally going down, and I'm pulling them up, and I'm making sure these hydrangeas are sitting up straight. Now, this is the spray that also comes in the kit, and I want to take and shake hands with each piece. If you're already a design school student, you know what I'm talking about. And if you're a design school student, don't forget to use your discount coupons on your purchase so you can save more for being a member of our class. Now I'm going to take and separate these out. See the beautiful fern in the back? Isn't that great? Now leave this long. Leave it long, okay? And I'm just going to take and run this right down the center until these 2 hydrangeas are just kissing right here at the top. It makes a beautiful center to the design, and it kind of functions as the bow. That being said, if you love ribbon, and I know we got a lot of ribbon lovers out there, if you want to have your own bow, all you need to do is back this out, and you can leave a section here to place the bow that you make. We're not doing that on our design, but that's totally optional to you. So I'm just going to take and get these guys just sweetly kissing to make the center of our piece, okay? Literally, this is the top. And you can see what I was talking about earlier. If you wanted this to be on a mantle or a fireplace, it's beautiful as is. These are just gorgeous florals on here. You just can't lose with these. Now, I could glue that in, but I prefer to cable tie it in to make sure it's holding it nice and tight. So here's the wire that was on this piece. And I'm going to take my cable tie. You don't need this long a one. This is a 14-inch one, but you can get an 8-inch cable tie. It'll work fine. I'm just going to run that around and through here. Through that angel vine, just bring it right back up. And the only other thing you're going to need is a little bit of glue to make sure that this can't slip out. But we're going to pull this nice and tight. And we're pulling it over where we put the stem for the top. Get it really tight. Wiggle, wiggle, get it tight. Now trim it off. That's what you're going to need your wire cutters for trimming these. And next, I need to pop a little glue on that, okay? The glue is going to help hold it in place. So before I do that, I'm going to need something to cover the glue because I don't want that tacky glue showing. So grab your wire cutters and just steal like a little leaf from back here on the bottom. Just going to steal this cute little leaf. You guys, this is so easy. Very easy for a beginner. Really quick to make your own project. But still fun. Still fun. Now look, I've spread all this apart. If you wanted like a little petite bow, that would definitely work in there also. Now the reason I'm putting glue in is because I don't want to be able to pull out that stem that we put in. So I'm just putting a little glue around
that cable tie, wiggling it around. And now we're going to camouflage it with the leaf. So just pop the leaf on. Ta-da! Done. Wiggle everybody back. And we're back to the center. I mean, so easy. So the swag shape is born, okay? But we're not done yet. I've got a beautiful greenery at the top, and I know I want to add in these berries. And we're going to do this with glue because we have such a nice base to glue into. What we want to do is take this stem. I'm going to put this to the side for a second while I break it down my stem. This is something I show in design school, is how to break down stems to get the most out of them. And this one's paper wrapped, so we can literally take and pull these to some extent and then trim them. And you're going to get 3 really nice pieces out of this. I'm going to cut those. There's 1, there's 2, here's the 3rd one. And this one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to come down here and cut it on the stem. All right, and we're going to work these all in. Now, just like I would teach in class, you are going to use these to add even more depth and dimension. So these are going to be like our finishing pieces to this design that are popping out. And we're going to take that longest one, and I want it to kind of come up towards the top of the swag. So I'm going to find in here, kind of in the same zone where we put the cable tie, and we're going to put this in coming up into this area. See how pretty these purples and lilac colors are going to come right into there? Take and give this a little bit of a bend. This is wired, so it's just wonderful. I'm going to dip this in my glue pot. So I'm putting glue on it here off screen. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm sorry, my glue's a little hot and stringy, but you can see I've got hot glue on it, okay? And now I'm going to push that right in, kind of under where we had everything else. I want it to go into the vine. There we go. I feel it going in, just like I would do in a wreath. And I'm going to let this just kind of come out of here. I've got the beautiful berries and the fun little leaves on there. And that one's going to come up. Okay, that's my first placement. Now, bring this down. We've got 2 more, and we just want to kind of zigzag these down. So I've got a lot of purple berry here, so I think it would be fun if this piece came out of the center also and just went to the side here. Okay, so just give it a wiggle and bend, shake hands with it, and I want it to flow out this way. And this is where we're adding all the depth and dimension. And I say this all the time to design school students, like the depth and the dimension is where your piece is going to stand out compared to others, okay? It will look more professional. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to go into the vine here. More professional, more, it will demand a higher dollar if you're selling. So always think about adding a little depth and dimension. Now I can see my little glue under there, and I normally would use moss, but on this particular one, we're just going to take a leaf and put a little glue on the back, and I'll cover my hot glue. So we're just making our mechanics look really nice and clean. I'm kind of a stickler on that. We're going to try to. Sometimes we miss one here or there, but we're going to try to. Okay? So we add that beautiful blue purple in, and now we're ready to bring the eye across. And we had a little here built in and here built in, but now it's time to have a little bit more coming down. And these are going to shoot out, and I call this breaking the plane of the design, going out of the design more, looking more like nature. You know, nature wants to grow out of the boundaries. That's what we're going to do with this. And I'm going to come in right here, and we'll go right into that beautiful base with it. I'm just dipping into my glue pot again, and I'm going to bring it back. Got a good amount of glue on there, and we're just going to slide this into the vine right here. Just go into the vine. Don't pop through to the back. Remember, stay in. Oh, how fun is that? Just take and give those a bend. Look how beautiful. This is so beautiful. Very quick and easy. A great project for you to do. Wonderful project to give as a gift to someone. Wow, about this for like mom or a birthday. It's amazing, and it's going to look beautiful on your door, guys. If you need the link to this kit, just let us know in the comments. And of course, come join us on Cleese.com, and we've got our whole video library there where we teach you simple projects just like this, and we even have some fun, more complicated projects where you can learn to make your own things like this every day. Head over to Cleese.com and sign up for live alerts. We'll let you know anytime we're live with new videos just like this. As you know, today is the deadline to get in design school, so you have till midnight
tonight to get your spot, guys. So as we're going to be creating together today our project, we're also going to be talking about our class because this is the last day to jump in. And I'm kind of excited about something new we've started in the class this time is we are starting a whole beginning process for brand new wreath makers. And I'm really focusing in on how to build on your designs and work on those layers. So you can see the project right behind me right here. Can you guys see that everywhere? TikTok is a little hard to see, but I'll pan up there for a second for y'all. This is basically a 2-bow wreath. And you guys can see it good everywhere else. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. And what we're going to be doing as the first few days of design school as new folks come in is we're going to work on how do I take one design and build it to the next level. And I think that's going to be just really so much fun because we have people at all different levels of their design journey in class. And to kind of scale it back to the beginning basics of placement, what techniques I'm using, and then they can take it to the next level. So I'm really excited about that. I wanted to share it with y'all. Let's see if you guys can even see my video and if we've sent the text out yet, everyone. Camera says we're live. We should believe it, right? Hopefully. Y'all, if you want to sign up for design school, we'll put a link here in the comments. Reminder, the deadline is today. I just don't see the video yet. So I'm going to look for it again. Because we may have to start it again if it's acting goofy. None of that. I'm still here looking for my live. Looking for my live. And while I'm looking for my live, I'm going to end up going live on my iPad too. There we go. Here it comes. It's popping up. Good. Oh, hey, Stormy. Great. She said she just joined class yesterday. She's been doing grapevines for years, but you can always learn more, and I like your style. Thanks, Stormy. Thank you. I really try to teach it to where you can learn about placement and how the rules of direction are really important. So I'm really working on that. And I've always loved the wispy design style, but we also do other styles too, more compact designs. We use the cluster methods. Because I was a high volume seller on Etsy and sold hundreds and well, actually thousands of wreaths, I've got about 10,000 actual wreath sales. Now on Etsy right now, we're just pushing 40,000 sales. A lot of those are products, but I started off with just finished wreaths. So I try to share all those tips and tricks that I learned along the way with all my wins, my fails. Believe me, you have to have a lot of fails to get wins. I learned all that type of stuff by doing it, and I try to share that with you guys in our class. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Patricia Crockett. Elizabeth got her text. Good. You guys, if you got your text, let me know in the comments so we know that it's working. Hi, Linda. Linda's welcome all of our new Bloomerinos. Yay, great. Sue's here. Hello, Dawn. You guys, I'm live a little bit different time. We've got a lot of OG Bloomerinos, you know, our ones from back in the day, and they've been along with us the ride all along. You know, it was folks here on Facebook who supported me from the very beginning who asked me to teach them. And I really thought originally, what can I teach you? You know, like, you guys can learn this stuff on your own. But really, they were like, no, we can't. We need you to teach. So I really thank everyone for encouraged me to do that 4 years ago. I was a teacher. Then I actually got a degree, a teacher, taught math and PE, did all of that stuff, and at the same time ran my business and eventually made more money in one weekend than I did the whole time, the whole year teaching. So I knew it was time for me to go all into the show circuit. And that's what we did for a long time till we had our sweet baby Kaya. And Kaya's 12 now, and so I wanted to get more online. So kind of that's how it all started. So when I say I've been doing this for 25 years, that's truth. I've been doing it since I was in college, and it's been a passion of mine since the beginning. So it has been a long journey to get where I'm at, but I hope to get you where you need to go in your floral design journey. It's a lot shorter for you because I'm going to cut out all the eras and try to get you there quickly. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for sprinkling the love. Thank you so much. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in class. So those of you who might be popping on here right now, seeing this live, remember, we're live in the private group tonight at 7:30. I don't want you to miss that. Go into the dashboard in the portal. So you guys, I did a video a few days ago about where everything is located, how to find it. We have a lot of new members, and so it's confusing when you first get in where to find everything. So when you come in to Design School, that is one website over here, KhalilsDesignSchool.com. Okay? Most of you guys are familiar with Khalees.com. That's where the products are, the free videos, the supply list, and all that kind of stuff. So they're two separate things. So for the people who are paying to be in our membership over here, we have a whole special world set up for them. And we keep trying to make that better and better so that, yes, they can still see things out here that everybody else can, but they have it well organized and a whole structure behind the scenes and private content that's just for them every week. So that is a little confusing when you start off, but that is all at KhalilsDesignSchool.com. Okay, and that is where you come in to, not only do you sign up there, but that's where you go every time and you log in with that password that you created and you go into your dashboard there. And the dashboard there has all the new information. And that's what we're going to be starting off with tonight at 7:30 in our live. And that's held in the Facebook group. And if you don't know where to go or how to find that, that's where I want you to learn to go to the dashboard, because it's got everything you need right there. You can just click it and come over. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. She says, so glad you decided to do wreath making for all of us. Me too, Elizabeth. It was a little scary at the beginning. I kid you not, because the live video was fairly new. And I thought, people want to watch me making this and doing this. I mean, I was selling hundreds of wreaths a week. We were busy. And I was into doing that. So it was really exciting to people want to learn how to do it. So it's so much fun. Tonight, our first lesson, we're starting off with all the newbies with a simple design. It's a 2-bow wreath. So you've got this in the portal already if you've already joined. And then what we're going to do tonight, and I do this a lot, is in our live video, we're going to take this and then we're going to step it up to the next level. So that way, no matter what level you're at, you can learn the foundations, the structure, why we put things where the transition points, and all of that. And then we're going to soup it up. So don't miss tonight if you're brand new. I can't wait. Can't wait to take you on that journey. Now, as far as our project today we're going to do together, we're going to start off with a 14-inch grapevine right here. Hey, Audrey, good to see you. Yeah, oh, awesome. Watch while you're cleaning. Isn't that brilliant? I'm an auditory learner, so Colleen never shuts up on live video because I want to film a video like I would like to consume. So if you don't like me talking so much, you know, you can always mute it and just watch if that's not your gig, right? So I'm going to add the hanger first. Donetta says, my sister signed up for the school after admiring what I had made with you. Donetta, nice! I love it. I'm so excited to meet your sister too. This is awesome. I hope you guys are both enjoying it. If there's anybody here watching, and I know there's a lot of you, if you have your one favorite thing about Design School, could you pop it in the comments so other folks that are watching who might be like, yeah, Clea, you say all that about your class. What do the people say? So let me know in the comments what you enjoy the most. So this is a brand new greenery you're going to work with. And right now in Design School, we're starting off with some basic construction methods. And this time of year, I like to start to work on some designs that can sell all year long. We're getting ready to head off into Mother's Day and Patriotic also. But we're going to learn the structures and the basic technique on some pieces that can sell all year long. So those are creams, whites, magnolias, peonies, hydrangeas, things people want all the time. You're having trouble getting in with your email and login, Heather? Hey, you can email our help line, which is Nicole at info@Khalees.com. She'll help you. We can reset your password, whatever you need if you can't get in there, okay? Kimmy says she's creating a greenery and lavender wreath right now. Oh, nice, Kimmy. Nice. I did that video the other day of one, and it's so pretty. You know, those type of wreaths. Oh, I need to show you guys what I did with, this is something I do with Design School, is I take and show them what I do at the store, where I have a physical store here in Houston that I sell my products out. I don't own it. I just lease a space there. And I want to show you what I did. I turned one into a table piece. Okay. Kathy says, you love the easy instruction and Clee's personality. Thanks, Kathy. Let's prep 2 of these. I'm going to get 2 of these greeneries ready. Regina said you're my most favorite first. Thanks, Regina. I love it. And the organization of the content and how you break it down in segments and the substitutions. Yes, yes, yes. I usually, when I'm teaching, even though I'm recording and talking to myself, my mama would tell you that I've been talking to myself and teaching my own. I used to teach my own cooking videos when I was a little girl in the kitchen. Or play. So I think I was destined to do this. She reminded me of that the other day. She's like, oh yeah, you would teach cooking, you teach school. I was like, okay, this was coming. But yeah, what happens is I'm creating and I'm talking and I'm teaching, and then another idea pops in my head because I've got ADD, of course, and just ideas are always coming in, you know, new fun things, and I'll usually say that in the video, and I say, oh, you could put this here, or you could do that there. And hopefully it doesn't overwhelm you guys. I don't think it does. I get really great feedback on it. But I love to, you know, kind of hear, while it's in my head, just get it out to you so you know what you can try to do on your own also. So I'm going to start here at the top. And just like we did yesterday, we generally start off by greening out our perimeter. And what that means is creating the depth of our design and how far we want it to go out. Okay, let's see here. Okay, where is the store? Raul, the store that I sell my finished wreaths at is called Painted Tree, and it is in Katy. Okay, and Nicole just had the portal reset your password. So check your email. The lady who is having trouble with that. Audrey says, Clee is awesome. I've been in the group since it first started. I enjoy how Clee does step by step, and you can rewind and watch the videos over and over. Yay! Yay! I love that. I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you do. Now, I need to kind of decide where I'm going to put my bow. While I'm figuring that out, I'm going to just start getting some placement in here. Now, if you're a brand new wreath maker and you're thinking, okay, Clee, I'm not ready to join your class. I just got here. That's okay, but I want you to think hard about it because our class only opens twice a year. When you get in there, there's no time limit. You can stay as long as you want. Or there is an advantage if you stay longer than 6 months. Because once you're in 6 months continuously, the whole portal opens up for you. And that means you get access to all 215 videos or something like that in there. And as long as you don't leave the membership, those videos are continually added to and you have consistent access. If you have to leave the membership for any reason and come back, you have to start that 6 months over again. And that's the way we protect our members who've been with us a long time and have been supporting us so that people don't take advantage of getting access to everything instantly when they join. So I'm so glad you're watching them over and over. I hear that a lot. And I think it's just like, you know, how I like to, when I like something, I want to go back and watch it again. And it's nice that you have it all at your fingertips in the portal because you can come back and watch it anytime. There's no urgency to consume it all. Just get what you need and come back. Regina says, it helps me use what I have on hand instead of buying more to create. Absolutely. Absolutely. When we talk about the products we're using, you do get a supply list. And they are clickable, so you can buy on Cleese.com if you're a beginning wreath maker. But if you have a stash of products already, then one of the things I like for you to do is just see if there's something you can substitute to the recipe out of what you have in your stash. Oh, I already have 2 ready. I was going to do another one. Melissa says, Clee's one of the best designers and teachers. You'll love and learn from her. She's one of my faves. You'll learn so much. Thanks, Melissa. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. I really, you know, I love to design and create, but I also really get kicks out of coming up with a new, easy way to convey what I'm doing for you to be able to remember. So I get all excited about the teacher stuff, you know, like, okay, here's your transition point. Here is where you're going to take it to the next level. Here's where we're going to break the plane, all that kind of stuff. And try to take what's in my head and get it into words and then get it into a visual presentation to you. You know? Patricia says, I'm an OG. You can't go wrong with Khalid's private group. She's an excellent teaching. How you to design a wreath centerpiece is always available for you to ask questions. Yes. Yes, ma'am. It's one of the nice things about I try to, on our Tuesday lives, we have our Ask Khalid section. And then what we also have is you can post it during the week, and I'm going to answer it live. But anytime you have a question, you can put it in the group. And sometimes before I can get to answer it, the rest of the group members have hammered out the answer, because we are a very supportive group of folks who never, we're not critical. I don't tolerate people being critical or ugly or mean. We don't let those kind of people in the group. Or if they show up, they go. And we've had to boot a few, and I've got no problem with it. We just don't allow it. So it's a safe space. You know, it's a safe space for creating. So in this design, you can see I've already greened out the base, okay? So I've set the perimeter. And that's something I teach in design school too, but we got it started here for you all to see what's up. Now, I'm going to use, this is a hydrangea and berry spray, and we're going to take and fluff it out first. This is called shaking hands. And one of the things, you gotta do this. Like, if you plan just to get stuff and stick it in a wreath, that will never work. You've got to take and flip it around where it's facing forward. So I'm going to take and do that right now. And we'll break this into a few sections. Now, I like this spray because I get a nice chunky berry. I get a filler flower. That's the small flower. And I get a leaf. So things like this, when you see nice mixed sprays, grab them, because they've got everything you need. You guys are putting some amazing comments in. If I'm missing them, y'all read them, okay? Let's see. Hey, Alex, good to see you. Rhonda says, Clee's the best teacher and has the best teaching platform. Oh, yay, yay. We worked so hard on that. Rhonda, thanks to Mary Jo and the rest of the team. I'm so glad. I've learned and continue to learn from her so much. I've been with her since the beginning and will be here as long as she's here. And I always say Rhonda is she's an excellent designer as well. I always kid around like, Rhonda, you don't necessarily need to be here. But you know what? I'm glad she's here, because I love to see her take on the classes. She'll put her own spin on what I do and teach, and it's just so neat to see people's interpretations. And I love to see that with all of you guys. And I love to see you win and sell her. She sells her pieces, and she gets a lot of great feedback on them, and I get very, very excited for all my students who have big wins. Or small wins. Doesn't all have to be big. So I'm going to break this down into the 3 sections. And we'll get this started. Molly says, I think I watched the Santa one 3 or 4 times just to get the way I wanted it. And you followed the directions, Molly. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's one nice thing. The reason, guys, I break the videos up into the smaller sections is because, like, let's say you're making the wreath I just taught back here, but you're going to use different bow. You don't need to watch the bow video. You don't need to fast forward. You just skip the bow video. You go on to the section you want help with. And as you get better with designing, then the idea is you just use that portal, the private portal, and you just go through the steps you want to do of each project, and it saves you time. Or let's say you forgot how I made something 3 years ago, and you're like, hey, I need some inspiration, and you go back and you watch the watermelon pumpkin video. That's an inside joke, but you can watch that for comedy relief. Clee says, what are you putting on the stems after you put them in the grapevine? Dawn, we use Spanish moss. So Spanish moss covers the glue, and so I don't see that shiny part of the glue, and it just kind of always flows in. I'm 99% of the time working with florals, so Spanish moss is a nice way to cover the glue. Okay? Leanne says, I would have saved thousands if I had started with Khalid first instead of 2 other teachers and designers. Don't wait. Oh, thanks, Leanne. Hi, Jeanette. Good to see you, too. Ramona says, for years, I made decor for my home. After retirement, I wanted to start a small business. I watched several coaches before deciding on Khalid, but she best fit my style. Our group is so positive. No matter your level, if you join us, you won't be disappointed. I love it. I missed Vince's comment. I see you guys responding to Vince. Oh, Vince says, I love that I can watch you make the design first. Then pull my supplies, rewatch, and make the design along with you. Rewinding is needed. This group is so much fun. I love how Khalid loves on us all the time. Vince, yay! Good. I'm so glad you are enjoying it. Vince's been here quite a while too. We're so happy to have him. We do have several gentlemen too, so don't be afraid to come. No matter however you identify. You know, our group is not about anything serious. We love flowers. We get in there, we play with flowers. We get excited about pods and things like that. It's a great place to escape the rest of the world. And because we don't really allow judgment or anything political, the only thing we do allow is we will help you through difficult times, pray for you, your family members, whatever you need. We do allow that type of real life stuff in because we want to support you. But other than that, we're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about world crisis. But we're just going to talk about what's happening to our people in our community and then what cool ribbon we found. And where'd y'all get the deal on the neat wreath bases and all that kind of stuff. So it's a great escape, you know? Aw, thank you, Deborah. I'm so glad you are. So I put my first hydrangea in right there. And I'm going to bring my second one down just a little. I'm leaving a little spot for the bow right here. Okay? Let me get you guys on TikTok. Y'all are seeing my ugly floor. Y'all slid down a little bit. Hey, Curly Q Wreaths. Good to see you over here. Okay. Y'all are good. Okay. On TikTok, you guys are seeing it backwards, but that's all right. Hey, Virginia. Diane says we got the flower power. Hey, Eve. Good to see you, too. Let's see here. Pam says, I like the lessons separated also. It's easy to get back and watch the part you need to review. Good. Good, good, good. Well, I'm hoping you're going to love the new session we're getting ready to start in design school where we're really getting back to basics and building on the basics of wreath making and then stepping it up to the next level. I'm excited about that. And then next month, we're going to start a whole series in design school on arrangements. So, yay. Okay, so there's something for everyone. Now, those of you who joined design school way back in October, don't forget your portal's about to explode and open and you're going to have access to everything. So, I think you're going to be excited. Okay, now let's take another one of the hydrangea stems. We're going to tear it apart and get it going. She interacts with all of us, not just a select few. I found some designers are only looking for the audience. Oh, I gotcha. I know what you mean. Yeah, I try not to leave anybody out and answer everybody's questions and help everybody I can. My content out here on Facebook is going to be changing a little, where I'm going to be dedicating more of my live time to those in my membership. And a little bit less live time to Facebook. I'll still be putting out videos, but I need more time to spend with my sweet daughter. And so video content's a little bit easier for me to get done and schedule out. But I'm always going to be live with my KDS Blue Merinos for sure. So guys, I'm shaking this, shaking hands, spreading it all out. Remember, we talked about this earlier. I like that it's got a little bit of everything on here. I'm just going to take and tear these. Yay, Melissa, your 6 months is about to open. Sweet. Hey, Cookie. You coming in? Is that Canada? Hey, Cookie. You know I'm married to Canadian. I just got to shout out to my Canadian folks. Hey there. Live on TikTok. I know. You got to kind of just, got to catch me at the right time. You got to catch it right at the right time. If you're not on the text list, get on there because we shoot out the text and you won't miss a live. And we generally put the link so you can go back and watch the replay, even if you're busy, if you're at work. You know, we do. And something we've really started for our design school students is we are password protecting supplies for them now. So we guarantee at least a week's protection on any of their class products that we just used. And then we'll release them to the public after. But we're trying to make sure that they have supplies available just because of the supply demand has been just crazy.
And it's just another perk of being in class. All right, so you guys see I'm putting moss on there anytime there's a little glue showing. And I'm kind of just mirroring my placement. What I did at the top, I'm doing at the bottom. Okay, Roxanne says, I found Clee last year when she offered her Hydrangea challenge. I've been in design school a year now and I've learned so much. She's a joy to watch and learn from. She's such an upbeat, creative, and all-around awesome person, instructor. She makes everyone feel welcome and able to create beautiful designs. Join us today. You'll be glad you did. Yay, Roxanne, thank you. I'm so glad you feel that way because that's exactly the environment I want you to feel. I want you to feel like you're having fun with flowers. Anytime you turn on the video, you log into the portal, you're just like, we're about to play with flowers. We're about to make some beautiful wreaths. Okay, I got 3 pieces over there left. I think we're going to go ahead and put that bow in so we can really, what I call, merchandise around the bow and break the plane of the bow. Okay, now what I'm doing today is we're using black and this little daisy. I have used the tar out of this little daisy. I love that. So, if you've never tried to add black to an all-white wreath, it's just so beautiful. It pops. You can add black to any design, and a lot of times it doesn't occur to you to add it first, but it makes the bow really pop. So on something like this design where the bow is super popular, I'm going to put it in, okay? So, I mean, the prominent, like the bow is popular as it's like important to the design. Now, I don't have daisies in it here at all, but this little flower that came on that mixed pick kind of can work, and it gives that look. So if you can find a flower that brings a little bit of the print out, that's all you need, okay? So let's put this in, and I'll get the curls going. And then we're ready to take and fluff this dude all up. So get the bow in placement. I'm going to tuck this in. So I'm really excited about the beginning wreath making videos we're just getting ready to add to the portal and work on, because I think if you start with a really solid foundation in your wreath making, you're going to be shocked really how easy it is to create. You know, and even before I started teaching online, we had employees who had to help us to make wreaths. So I made as many as I could, but I needed help to make bows and to make the wreaths. So we kind of created our own language. That's why we came up with the way we name bows, because we had to be able to communicate about the bows and to communicate about the designs. So I could say, hey, you know, Fatima, I need you to make this wreath that has a C shape, and you're going to green it out with the long greenery. So by doing that, we were able to communicate about what we were making and have this kind of dialect. And I've kind of brought some of those same words into design school when we talk about a design. So I hadn't even thought about that, but me having to teach other people at the warehouse kind of helped to get a head start on the teaching here. Thanks, Diane! Awesome! Awesome. If anybody has questions about design school, this is a perfect time to ask while I'm just finishing adding a few pieces here. Let me get that piece of greenery. And we'll add a few more pieces in. So, whenever you put a bow in, we call the bow the transition point. That's what we just put in here. Now, we know we put aside some of these pieces, and we have a couple of pieces of greenery left. Patricia said, it's a very supportive community. I went through a very difficult loss 3 years ago, and every October when I ask everyone to check their carbon monoxide textures, I always go live about it. Yes, Patricia lost a grandchild to carbon monoxide poisoning, which is devastating, horrendous, and horrible. And so we take time to remember every year. She reminds us, and then, you know, all we can do is try to help other people to do what they can to help prevent that in their household. So she's taken a loss and turned it into something positive to help other people. And that we're just blessed to have her in our community, because who knows how many lives she's maybe saved with that now. Making sure that people realize how important that is. Okay, so we've got 2 hydrangeas up here, 1 here. I'd really like 1 more coming down out of my bow. Let me bring you guys down a little over here, and we'll bring that down. Judy, yeah, you can sign up. Today's the deadline for getting in the classes.
So if you're seeing this video, the link's at the bottom of the page. You can still get in. And if you don't join now, our class will not open again up until October. So it's going to be a while till we open up again. So this is the time you also want to join if you want to get in early on fall and on Christmas. Because then by the time the portal opens up for you, all those videos come open. So spring is like the best time to join. You get more benefit quicker because when things open. Plus all the new videos that I create for fall start in the summer. Because we got to stay ahead of the game, right? Lori says, Kali always makes me feel so relaxed. No questions dumb. Her lives are my happy place. Yay, Lori. Good. Jeanette, you're loving it? Great. This is super beginner type recipe, but you can see how easy it is when you build it up. And if I know you're in design school, so tonight, when we do our video tonight live in there, you're going to see us build upon this. This just has berries, so I'm going to come in the center. Now, we're not going to build upon this wreath right here, but we're going to build upon our live we did, a recorded video that came out yesterday in the portal, and you're going to be able to build up that design. So I think you're going to look at designing a little bit differently, and it's going to be fun. All right. Thank you. Yes, guys, so if you're on the text list already, just text us the word link. It'll also send you that right to your phone. And it'll send you the info for design school right to your phone. Okay, I love to have a little berry coming right out of the center and kind of, I call this breaking the plane. It's going to break the plane of the ribbon. Kind of calm down. All right, got a little bit more room right here in the center. I'm going to come in with the final berry and we'll put it in. Jordan glues leaves on the back of a grapevine wreath. You can do that. I generally don't do that anymore. Over time, I've gotten a lot better at my placement. Now, if you had something to hide on the back of your wreath, you could put leaves on the back. No problem with that. If I needed to hide something, I probably would use moss. That's my preference. The reason I don't leave leaves on the inside of the wreath to cover glue also is only because they take up real estate. And the moss I can make really small. But there's no right or wrong way to do that. You could do it either way. Okay? Awesome. Denise, you got to text the word link to 832-734-5201 and we'll send it to you. Let's see. Yeah, Amy, those are all on the website. All those ribbons are up there. Jeanette says, Kali makes something that looks so complicated. It seems so easy. Like I can even do it. Yes! Absolutely. I want you to feel that way. I want you to feel like you can definitely do it and easily do it. That is my goal in general. So you guys, I'm going to see y'all live in design school tonight at 7:30. I'll be teaching first over at business coaching, and then I will see you at 7:30 in design school. So if you're brand new to class, make sure you come join us over there. Don't forget, design school students also get discounts on supplies. They get, of course, access to our killer portal. They get clickable supply lists. We have protected supplies for them. We're just trying to give you more and more benefits for being our class and to make you extra special and get all the fun things that you're entitled to. And I don't want you to miss any of that. So tonight in design school, I'll go back over a few things that we need to talk about as far as we have a vendor spotlight. It's a student spotlight where if you sell wreaths, you sell products, you sell wreath attachments. We like to spotlight you here on this page, the Kali's page. So there's a place to do that in design school too, and I want to make sure you guys know all about it. So here it is, all finished. So a nice neutral wreath that can sell all year long. These type of wreaths sell for me every day, all day long at the store. We only use 2 greeneries, and we use 2 of the hydrangea and berry sprays. Beautiful ribbons. These weren't really expensive ribbons, basic ribbons. So this type of thing with the depth and dimension that I'm going to teach you in class to do, it's going to be no problem to sell. So tonight we're going to take that wreath back there that you saw earlier, and we're going to take it up to the next level in class live with you. And of course, I'll be answering all your Ask Kali questions. All right, good to see you guys. I had so much fun Blue Merinos. If you want to know more information about design school, just text us the word link to 832-734-5201. Or you can also, there's a link here at the bottom of the page where you could sign up. All right, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tonight. And go have fun with flowers, because we all need a little more of that in our day. All right, bye, Blue Merinos.